At 16 years old, I smoked weed for the first time. Probably 2 years, I was doing drugs every day. I'm smoking, popping pills. By the time I'm 19, I was as close to zero as a person can get. I was in 5 sales jobs, was a disaster at all of them. Hated sales, absolutely hated it. If you told me, hey man, I got this opportunity for you to work part-time, I have zero interest. An idea that I would work 4 hours, no, well, that's just not real for me. Dude, I need to be a productive member of society. At 16 years old, I smoked weed for the first time. It was not attractive.
Okay.
No, it was. I knew when I picked it up, I'm like, this is terrible, doing this. I don't know why I'm doing this. I know I'm gonna regret doing this. But my brother was doing it. Brian, my buddy, was doing it. I wanted in. Peer pressure was very powerful. How do you go it alone here? So smoked weed. Next day I smoked it again. Next thing you know, I'm like full into drugs. And nobody starts using drugs thinking I'm gonna be a drug addict. But within probably 2 years, I was doing drugs every day. The drugs are one thing, but the degradedness of the individual. So by the time I'm 19, I was as close to zero as a person can get. I didn't want to do it. I had tried to quit at least 10 times a day. I quit drugs for 9 years. Today, I'm gonna quit. 5 minutes later, I'm using it. And then I'd say, okay, I'm gonna quit. That's it, I'm done. I'm not gonna throw it away yet, but I'm done. And then an hour and a half later, dude, I'm doing drugs again. So every day, it's not just the drugs. It's not just what you're doing to your body. It's like the number of times I quit and couldn't quit, right? And then started again. It's just like you start losing any sense of self-respect. I'm smoking, popping pills, any drug. There was no everybody, what's your drug of choice? Dude, any drug, anything that would change my attitude or fill up the boredom. Dude, I'll talk about boredom. Boredom is the drug you need to avoid, because that's where people start making bad choices. Typically, they don't become a drug addict. They become a consumer of garbage. They waste time. They consume excuses. I just threw my addiction into work. I needed something to throw into, right? So I said, okay, I have to stay busy. Time is my enemy. Time is my problem. When there's too much time, Grant goes freaking nuts. I think that their work is a gift from God. When I hear people talk about the job, I've seen the 4-hour work week and the idea that you won't work for anyone, that you can't have a job. It just kills me. It's disgusting to me.
It's disgusting to me.
It's disgusting that anybody would want to outsource everything. Dude, I got 168 hours in a week. I think that's what it is. Dude, I want to use them all, man. I hear guys say, I don't do stuff I don't want to do. Fucking dude, who are you? Who's taking care of you then? How arrogant that you wouldn't do something you don't want to do. I do shit I don't want to do every day. We drove over here 45 minutes. I don't want to sit in the back of the car. I don't care how nice the car is. Who wants to sit in traffic for 45 minutes? I do stuff constantly I don't want to do. So sales, hated sales. I was in 5 sales jobs, was a disaster at all of them. Absolutely hated it. Doesn't matter what I want to do. What's my purpose? What's my potential? And am I willing to work toward that? So an idea that I would work 4 hours, no, well, that's just not real for me. I would not read the book. If you told me, hey man, I got this opportunity for you to work part-time, I have zero interest. Dude, I need to be a productive member of society. I want to be great at what I'm doing. And I know without reading any book, I have to dedicate time and energy, effort, and I have to hit. I have to be frequent. I've never gotten good at anything. It's been a lot of work for me. So everything for me, it's taken a lot. It's taken me 30 years to find any kind of success or any sense of, okay, I'm starting to find myself. Probably 2,000 or 3,000 speaking engagements before I felt like I was comfortable on stage. 3 businesses that were freaking jamming before I said, you know, you might actually be a legitimate businessman. And it's interesting when you commit to something, little gifts just start automatically showing up. It's a phenomenal thing. It's happened my whole career. When I fully commit, somebody will bring me something. You know, now we're at 7 businesses. We'll do probably $150 million this year. I'll hit $1 billion in real estate probably before the year's over. I'm just starting to feel like, you know what? Maybe I'm gonna make it. You know, you just create and create and create. So that's what I've always been interested in, you know? Like, I think Van Gogh painted like, in 50 years, he painted like, I don't know, 5,000 pieces, 800 sketches, you know, 700 canvases, like these crazy numbers. Like it was like he's painting 2 pieces a day. It was frequency and quantity, you know? So if God created the heavens and the earth, I guarantee you this isn't the only one. He was spraying around a lot of stuff. And then something beautiful comes out of the experience, right? Out of the effort. And that's why some of this, I want to work part-time. I want to work from home. Dude, it's so small.
And selfish.
And selfish. You're going to burn out, dude. At this pace, you're going to burn out. I've heard that since I was 30 years old. I'm not burnt out. You know, I'm not a candle, right? So I'm a spiritual being, like, you know, moving through the universe. And that's why, like, living just in the United States and operating just in the United States and making money just in the United States is selfish, right? It's unselfish for me to write a check for $60 million, get a plane that can bring me 14 hours nonstop so I can bring my family with me. It's unselfish to do that. I could just stay home. These guys, the guys that play at the top of the game, they're f***ing geniuses. You know, they're thinking about 50 things at one time. That's not a disease, man, it's a gift. Right? I got windows open all the time. I got a bunch of windows open while I'm sitting here talking to you. I can do that. I'm a spiritual being. I'm not limited to one window being open. You know, these are the people. I'm not saying people should study me, but this is who people should study. People that have gone out, started with a little bit or nothing, had an idea, accumulated something, and then lived it out for 35 years. I'm gonna have Steve Harvey, the comedian and the TV superstar, at my 10X Growth Conference. He's like, why do you want me there? I'm like, 30 or 40 years, man. You have continued to rebrand yourself to be relevant. I want to know Steve Harvey. I want Steve Harvey to be in front of my audience. You know, Warren Buffett. I admire Warren because of his longevity. I want to study everything Warren's done since he was a young man. Me and Gary Vee had this conversation. He thinks entrepreneurs have some DNA. I said, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. That means some people can't be entrepreneurs.
Which is not true.
No, you do drugs enough, it won't matter what your DNA is. You do anything enough. You go into a casino enough times and play enough times, you'll become addicted. Just like a game. Like you play a game enough times, enough levels of Candy Crush, and you'll want to get to the next level. If you punch on anything long enough, you could actually change things. Like my life is about punching. I'm a puncher. Like I punch a lot, I punch hard, but mostly I punch persistently. Kind of like life did to me. Like I've learned to punch back.